Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the Small Talk Podcast. I'm Bobby Poe, and I got my man Mark Ross. What's going on with you, baby?
Not much, brother, man. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good. What's going on with you, man?
All right, man. Good to see you, man. All
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You got anything going on right now?
Man, right now, I just have my two podcast channels that I was telling you about. One, the main one is the Speak Your Truth with Mark Ross. And my other one is Soldier Stories. My Speak Your Truth podcast jumps off every Wednesday, and it airs at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm also on YouTube, so you can check me out. The Speak Your Truth with Mark Ross and Soldier Stories. They're both on YouTube.
Okay. You served in the military, right?
Yes.
How long did you serve in the military?
4 years.
4 years. What was your title?
My job title, I was in supply, but the majority of my time in the Marines, I spent doing more infantry related stuff.
Okay, groundwork.
Yeah, groundwork, training, rifle training, just getting prepared for wartime scenarios and whatnot. But I spent less time. I spent less time in my actual job, which was supply, than anything, because I spent more time doing infantry related stuff. So
Okay.
a little bit everything.
What inspired you to join the military?
At the time, bro, I really didn't see myself doing anything here in town. It was either go work at a factory or go in the military.
Okay.
College at the time wasn't in my eyesight, so I took the military route as a way to get out, see the world, meet different people, and enjoy life.
Did you have any expectations of the Marines before you joined?
I knew that it was going to be hard, that much for sure. I knew it was going to be hard, it was going to be tough, but I was mentally ready to tackle the challenge. And as I said earlier, I was ready to get out of Milwaukee, man, and I wasn't looking on coming back anytime soon, so I was ready to go. So I was ready for that challenge.
Tell me a little bit about the enlistment process.
The enlistment process. I went to a recruiter. I told him that I was interested in joining, and they set me up to do the ASVAB test, and that's the test to get into the military, basically. For those that don't know what the ASVAB is, I took the test, passed the test. I went to the recruiter one day, bro, and I asked him. I said, "What am I going to expect going into the Marine Corps?" And see, this is a question that I think a lot of people that are interested in getting to the military should ask the recruiters. What are you going to get into? Okay. What is going to happen once you're in there? Because people don't know. People don't know how hard boot camp can be. So I asked him the real question. How hard is it? What am I going to expect? He told me that they're going to treat you like dirt. They're going to cuss at you. They're going to scream at you. They're going to make you do all kinds of physical exercises. They're going to treat you like crap. But the goal of that was to mentally break you down and rebuild you into the image that they see fit for you as a ready, mentally ready, physically ready soldier, ready to bust that gun whenever it is time for you to bust that gun. We had to get sworn in. Once you get sworn in, there's no turning back after that. You can always say no, but once you get sworn in, this is before you even go to boot camp, bro. Once you raise your right hand and you get sworn in, that's it. You're in. You're going. So I got sworn in, and I received a date for me to go to boot camp, and September 7th, 1987 was my first day. I flew out to San Diego and went to Marine Corps boot camp out there, and the rest is history.
How did your family and friends react to you enlisting?
They thought I was crazy. They said, why? Why the Marines? That's the hardest one. I said, well, them the ones that accepted me, so I'm going with it. You know, I had a good talk with my mom, man, and I told her about how I was feeling about life and whatnot, and she, you know, she gave me the go ahead. She was like, hey, I'm glad that you're making the decision to do something with your life, and I'm behind you 125%. So you go ahead and do it, and I did.
So even though, let's go back to the recruiter. Okay, let's go back to the recruiter. So when you finally made it through the whole process and you get to San Diego,
Right.
how far off was he about the experience of basic training, or was he spot on?
Spot on. Spot on. Man, we got called every name but a child of God, bro. I mean, he told us, he asked me this question, bro, and I'll never forget it. He asked me, he said, Mark, how well is your physical fitness? I said, I think it's okay. He was like, no. I'm asking you this question because once you begin Marine Corps boot camp, they are going to run the shit out of you. He said, I advise you, if you're not into running, you need to run today. He said, he was real with me. I never saw my recruiter that real, because when I asked him about boot camp, his face, his expression changed, and he got real stern, and he got real deep with me. And he told me, you need to work out today. Meaning, when you leave this office, you go to a park and you start fucking running. He said, and I'm gonna tell you something, that ain't gonna be enough. That's not gonna be enough. He said, they're gonna run you to the fucking ground. And he was right. We ran every day for 3 months, from 1 mile to 3 miles every day. Hated it.
Once you made it to boot camp, what stood out to you the most?
When the bus parked, a skinny white dude, he was a Lance Corporal, he's an E3. He was an E Corporal. I'll never forget this. He got on the bus. Skinny dude. His presence commanded respect. He got on that bus and told all of us recruits, shut the fuck up and do what I ask you to do. Once you get out of this bus, you're going to see pairs of feet. You get your asses off this bus and you get your feet on those pairs of feet and don't move. Bruh, the look he gave us, it was so fucking intimidating. Skinny dude, Lance Corporal, he got on that bus and he told us to shut the fuck up and listen. Dude, you didn't hear a pin drop in that bus. Everybody got up, one seat at a time, and got their asses on that pair of feet and did not move.
What were some of the skills that you remember learning that you did not know?
How to endure. The drill instructors will push you and try to break you. I had to endure all of the mental abuse and sometimes physical abuse that we went through at the hands of our drill instructors, bro. And I never prayed so much in my life, man, until I hit boot camp, man, because they made it a point to tell me in particular that they didn't like me. And they made my life hell. I didn't know what sweat meant until I went to Marine Corps boot camp. So I had that God-fearing, God-knowing mentality going in that it wasn't going to be easy, but at the same time, I didn't come this far, bro, just to get this far.
Right.
I was on a mission to make it. I did not let the assaults that they put on me break me. I wanted to prove to them and my family, because I had family that depended on me to make it through, and I wanted to make them proud. So my mission was deeper than just impressing them.
Okay.
I didn't give a damn about how they felt. I did it for my family, because I want to come back and make my family proud that I succeeded in this.
How long is Marine boot camp?
When I was in, it was 3 months.
Okay.
Shortly after I got out, I heard that they extended it a month.
Wow.
So, so it was 4 months, and the fourth month, from what I understand, was in the field training.
Oh.
So you see these trees out here?
Yeah.
You're sleeping in that.
What was some of your most memorable experience during your time of service?
Being overseas, man.
Really?
I went to Spain. I went to Italy. I went to France. I went to Israel, and far up is Turkey.
Okay.
Yeah, that was an awesome time, bro. And I went on 2, we call them floats. It's not cruises as you guys would call them. When the military or the Marines or Army get on, link up with the Navy, and we have to sail overseas, whether it's Asia, or whether it's the Mediterranean like I went, or elsewhere, we call them floats.
Okay.
I did 2 6-month floats, and we hit up both spots, all those spots twice, and I got to saw the Leaning Tower of Pisa. We went to Jerusalem, and we saw some really cool spots. We saw the Jordan, the Black Sea, and saw things with my 2 eyes that I know out of my own will I would never get to see.
Most people don't get to see those type of things.
No,
Yeah.
no. So I got the privilege of seeing a lot of things and meeting a lot of good people that just gave me some life lessons and taught me how to move accordingly, and taught me how to really have faith.
How did you adjust to the discipline and structure of the military life?
That's a good question. I think it was forced on us.
Okay.
We just had to fall in line with it, if we wanted to do it or not. If you want to be successful and have a good career, you have to fall in line, regardless if you want to do it or not. There's rules and regulations that comes with being a veteran and of the service, and everybody understands that. So everybody knows their job, everybody knows what they got to do, and it's just it's something that doesn't need to be said. If you're in the military, you got to fall your ass in line. Otherwise, your tour duty is going to be bad. So that's just the way that is. After boot camp, we were giving our MOS assignments, and we had to basically report to our duty station and get trained on our field. I was in Mississippi at the time, and it was kind of like an admin job, and you had to type certain numbers, per minute, and I wasn't able to do it. So I got reassigned. From there, I went to North Carolina, and I completed the training there. I stayed there. So the expectation really is to go to your duty station, learn your job, successfully complete your job, and once you get reassigned to your actual duty station, you'll get schooled on what to do when you get there. I mean, it's not hard, but it's just a matter of learning where you are, learning your role, and learning your place in that role. Once you get that established, man, you'll be smooth.
What type of coping skills did you use to deal with the pressure and stress that you were under?
Boot camp, bro. I expected the BS to happen because they told me. I worked twice as hard every day. Sometimes I even welcomed it because, like, well, at least I got it out the way.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
So
yeah.
So once I got to my duty station, it wasn't that bad. But once I got out of the military and got back into civilian life, that's where the struggles came in. And if you interviewed more veterans, they will tell you this, because I interview veterans on my podcast. Getting out and readapting to civilian life was difficult because we got so immersed in the military culture. We embraced the military culture. We went through things. We saw things. We had to do some things. We adapted to that. But coming back to this was hard because mentally we're still there.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That's programming. Yes,
We were
yes.
programmed.
Yes.
Institutionalized. So now we come back to the real world. We're still programmed to fight. We're still programmed to get in somebody's ass when they get out of line. We're programmed to wake up ready to go. That's where the PTSD kicks in, bro. A lot of us veterans, we deal with that military PTSD because the light switch is still on. We're still ready to go. We had to bust that gun. We had to knock a few dudes down, right? We had to grab some people. We had to do some things. That shit doesn't go away. That programming doesn't just all of a sudden go away. Regardless if we're wearing a uniform or not, it's still in us to do it. So when we transferred from military life to civilian life, we were still active up here.
Mentally.
And not being able to engage like we're used to engaging, it fucked a lot of us up.
Yeah, because you have the authority of the United States military backing the decisions that you make.
Dig it.
But when you come out of service,
It's gone.
but you still have that mindset.
Right.
Okay, I completely understand that from, yeah, I'm there with you, man. Let me ask you this, because you talked about life. We were talking about life after the Marines. How did your time in the military impact your life after the military?
It made it hard for me to look at people the same. I couldn't look at you with the respect that you deserved as a man because you didn't go through what I went through. Here I am, 21 years old. My mindset is way farther along than yours.
Because you had way more life experience than the average, 21-year-old?
Dig it.
Yeah.
Dig it. So I couldn't look at people the same. I couldn't look at a civilian person and
and hold them in a regard that
I
they
couldn't
should
hold
be
them in
held
that
to.
regard.
Okay.
So it's like, I'm not going to let nobody tell me what to do. You ain't been through what I've been through. You're my boss? Fuck out of here. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not my boss. And there were points in time, bro, where I just had to play the role.
Oh, okay.
If I was assigned to be this, then that was that. But you better not come across me, with no. And
Straight
that's
direct
just
to
it.
the point. Yeah.
I'm coming at you straight like that. It's like, hey, we're all grown here. I stay in my lane. You stay in yours. You come over here, you're gonna get hit. And it made life hard. It trying to adapt was so difficult for me that there were days that I wish that I could go back
To the military.
I wanted to go back because I couldn't adapt to this. I wanted to go back. Knowing that I didn't want to be back there, but I was programmed, using that word again, programmed, institutionalized to accept it. So I'm speaking from a lot of veterans when I say that readapting was extremely difficult because of the programming.
Do you still have friends you associate with?
Nope. No, I don't. There were people that, we all lived in different states. And my mindset was, once I got out, I don't want to think about the military. Yeah. So, no, I don't have anybody that I'm still connected with.
Okay.
Nope.
Let's shift to corrections. How long did you serve?
Altogether, roughly 16 years.
You retired at the rank of lieutenant.
Yes.
Do you have any expectations going into corrections?
I just had the expectation of just doing my job and being authentically me. I didn't want the job to change who I am as a person. Uh, and I think that throughout my career there, I kept that promise, man. I always stayed true to who I was. I always stayed real.
What's a typical day like for a correction officer?
Mm.
If there is a such thing as a typical day.
Yeah. Uh, well, if I could say, in terms of work, expect to lose your off days because you might get forced to work on your off days. Expect to get forced to work overtime on the days that you're there. Uh, expect that there may be physical altercations in your dormitories that you're working in. Through all that, I had to learn to keep work at work and not to bring it home.
What were some of the most common challenges you faced on a daily working in corrections?
Learning not to react when inmates get disrespectful. I learned to use our radio a lot. Because if there's one thing that I did in my dorms was let people know that I would treat you like a grown man, but when you start acting like a child, I will treat you like a child. And if you get out of pocket, I have no problem getting on the radio and getting you the hell up out of there. So when you saw me coming, you know it's going to be a good day.
How did you stay physically fit with the job and the hours that you work?
I made it a point to work out because I wanted to be physically ready to deal with any situation that may come about from, based on the job that we had. And there have been days that I had to, puff my chest back and let them know that I'm not afraid.
When you first started in corrections, what tools did you have available to you inside the housing unit?
We had handcuffs, we had our radio, we had the pepper spray, the handcuff key, of course. It wasn't a lot, you know.
What about the joint, the yellow joint?
Oh yeah, the taser, yeah. See, I started off, pre pepper spray, so we just had the radio, the handcuffs, and our mouthpieces.
Communication
Yes,
is
sir.
always the key.
Yes, sir.
In an average dorm setting, what was the population inmates per officer?
That depends on where you were. In the new building, it was 60-1. In the older building, it was 70-1.
Okay.
When Huber was downtown, CCC was downtown, it was 90-1.
That intimidating at all, being one versus 60,
Absolutely.
one versus 70, one versus 90?
Initially, yeah. Oh, absolutely it was. It was like, what the fuck? You got 60 dudes in one room, and you got yourself. I mean, how could that not be intimidating?
How were you able to maintain your composure?
By communicating. I would tell the guys, you know how when you take over a dorm and you have your initial speech, and this is who you are, your expectations, that sort of deal. My expectations for them were simple. I respect you guys. You guys show me the same respect. You guys are here for whatever reason you are. That's not my business. Nor do I care. You're here now. And all that matters right now is you do your time. Don't let the time do you. And once you get out, and I always stress this, once you got out, do your best to stay out.
What were some of your most rewarding experiences working in corrections?
I would see people that got out and they stayed out. I can't tell you how many times I ran into bros that were formerly incarcerated, and they'll tell me, Ross, man, you're one of the good ones. And I listened to you talk, man, and you always talked about how, you know, when you get out, stay out. I did just what you said. When I got out, I got myself together, and I haven't been back since. That's a success. When someone tells you on the other side, when you meet someone and they tell you that they recognize you and that the words that you said to them stuck,
and
it helped keep them out of jail, man. That's the most memorable and pleasurable thing for me.
What was the initial feeling of being promoted to the rank of lieutenant?
Shock. It wasn't as if I wasn't anticipating them to promote me, but the fact that they considered me was like, wow, okay, I'm really moving up, and I was of course grateful that they gave me the promotion, and I embraced that new challenge in my life.
How did that change how you viewed the situation? From being an officer, you were at the lowest rank, following orders.
Mm-hmm.
You bump up to this lieutenant rank,
Mm-hmm.
and now you are responding to situations, to solve problems.
Yeah.
What changed?
Nothing, because I already had the mindset of a leader. You know, from my military experience, my work experience, my life, I never looked at inmates as numbers. I looked at them as men, and I treated them as such. When I came into a situation, I used my common sense. If I had questions, I asked. You know, I always thought about what would be the best scenario in this situation. Questions I asked, hey, what would you do in this scenario? Being where I've been and doing what I've done, it didn't create anything for me. It just brought out the leadership talents that I already had. Situation. Questions I asked, hey, what would you do in this scenario? Being where I've been and doing what I've done, it didn't create anything for me. It just brought out the leadership talents that I already had.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. It's always a pleasure. You're always welcome back.